People don't talk about the coup in Gabon when they talk about West Africa because it wasn't really a big change. The leader just passed power to someone else who also wanted power. The leader tricked people into thinking he was making a big change. But now people know the truth. The military leader, General Bryson Nguema, wants to keep being in charge, but he doesn't want to be a soldier anymore. He wants to be a politician. He's planning to run for president in the election on April 12th, 2025. We'll talk about his decision and compare it to other military leaders in the Sahel region in this video. In 2023, General Bryson took control of Gabon in a powerful way. The rules in Gabon usually say that temporary leaders can't run for elections. But a new rule made in November changed that for Nguema. This made people worry about what Nguema really wants. On Monday in the capital Libreville, Nguema, who is now 50, said in a speech, "After thinking a lot and because many of you want it, I have decided to run for president in the election on April 12th. He shared his plans for the future of Gabon, talking about making Gabon better. He also promised to fix the country's big infrastructure problems. General Bryson said he's good at building things and asked the people to be strong and help rebuild the nation. General Bryson changed his clothes when he decided to run for election. He used to wear his army uniform, but now he wears regular clothes to show he wants to be the leader of the country. His team posted this on their Facebook page. They said that after the election, he will wear his army uniform again until they count the votes. If he wins, he will stop wearing it. But if he doesn't win, he will go back to the army. Some people in Gabon say that he already left the army, but we'll talk about that later. Lately, General Bryson has been going out a lot. He went to a big army meeting and a church event where they let doves go to honor him. Even though he's known for the army, he wants to show that he's also close to regular people. To get more young people to like him, Nguema gave out free tickets to a cool concert by a famous local singer named L'Oiseau Rare. The election coming up is between Nguema, a guy who wants to be leader, and Alain Claude Billy Benzi, who used to be the top leader. Other important people in the election are Ninga Changing Zenaba, the only woman, and Stephanie Germain Iloko Busengwe, who used to be in Bongo's Gabonese Democratic Party. Nguema wants to fix Gabon's big problems, like the often happening power cuts and the country's huge debt, which is 70% of all the money Gabon makes. Gabon is rich because it has lots of things like oil, wood, and manganese. The country owes about $12 billion, which is a big problem. If Nguema wins, he will be in charge for 7 years and can try to win again for another 7 years. Last year, a vote happened to decide how long the president could stay in power. They said the president could be in charge for 7 years and then do it again for another 7 years. The media in the West called President Traoré a power-hungry leader after he extended his time in charge for 5 more years. But if you look at Gabon and Burkina Faso, you'll see a big difference. Before Traoré stayed in charge for longer, he talked to lots of important people in the country to decide if he should step down. Even before that, many people in Burkina Faso showed their support for Traoré, which is very unusual in African countries. This has not happened in the last 20 years, but it did happen in Mali last year. According to the African Initiative reporter, the people who organized the gathering think that the current elections won't help keep peace in the country. They want the rules of the country to change so it can be better and stronger. They don't want new elections or a new president. Since Thomas Sankara died, the country has had bad leaders who only care about themselves in the West. But Traoré's leadership has made things better. A few days after the rally, people came together again to show their support for Traoré during a meeting he had with important people. After the meeting, they said that Traoré will keep leading the country until 2029. While the important people were talking in the meeting room, lots of young people from Burkina Faso gathered outside, asking Captain Traoré to lead them for the next 10 years. But at the end of the day, a young person speaking for the group said clearly that they wanted Traoré to rule for 10 years, nothing less. They also said if the meeting ended without agreeing on Traoré ruling for 5 more years, they would start the meeting again. Even though it was said in a joking way, it showed what the people wanted. The good news is that Traoré will rule for 5 more years. This is what democracy is about, listening to what the people want. But it was different in Gabon. When Nguema came into power, the people were happy and excited. They thought a new government like the one in Burkina Faso had come. We thought the same at the time. So there was this guy, General Bryce, who took down the Bongo family's rule that lasted for more than 40 years. The Bongo family had been in charge of the government in Gabon for over 50 years. They gave important jobs to their friends and extended family. It all started in December 1967 when Bongo's dad became the president with the help of France. This happened after the country's leader, Léon Mba, died of cancer. Before that, there was a coup in 1964 that put Mba back in power. During his time as president, Bongo's dad won a bunch of elections. People said he cheated, but he got rid of the system where you need a second vote to win. He made it so you only needed one vote to win. He also made it so only one party could be in charge, and there was a lot of corruption. He gave the country's oil money to his rich friends to make sure they stayed loyal. The Bongo family also got jobs in the military, government, and businesses. Marie-Madeleine Mbourenso is now in charge of the court that makes sure the rules of the country are followed. She used to be in a relationship with Omar. The Bongo family had a lot of money and lived in super fancy homes. The French police found out that the Bongo family had 39 houses in France, 70 bank accounts, and 9 fancy cars worth 1.5 million euros. Even though Omar's lawyers said he didn't make enough money to have all that, the U.S. Senate said he might have moved $100 million through a New York City bank account. Even after France checked into the Bongo family's money, they still stayed friends. A person who studies politics and money at Oxford Economics said the Bongo family has been putting money into French politics for a long time. A lawyer from Paris named Robert Bourgi said he got $20 million from 5 African leaders to help the president of France, Jacques Chirac, in his election. One of these leaders was Omar from Gabon. When Omar died, his son Ali Bongo became the leader. Like his dad, he also had some trouble winning elections. People even set fire to the parliament after he won in 2016. 2 years later, Ali had a bad stroke and didn't appear in public for almost a year. While he was getting better in Morocco, some soldiers in Gabon tried to take over, but they didn't succeed. After he got better, Ali made some changes in the government. He took away his sister's important job and made his half-brother's job less important. A guy named Bryce got in trouble for being corrupt and went to jail for 5 years. He used to be really powerful, but got in trouble for wanting too much power. After he got rid of Bryce, he made his son his advisor. While all this was happening, there were military takeovers in other African countries, but the Bongo family stayed safe by paying off their enemies and putting their family members in important government jobs. However, Bongo's attempts to keep his government safe from a takeover might have actually helped Nguema, who is now in charge of the military in Gabon. When Bongo became president in 2009, he dismissed Nguema, who was the assistant to the previous president. But after the coup in 2019, Nguema, who had been working at Gabonese embassies in Morocco and Senegal, was called back and made the leader of the Republican Guard. So why would someone who had promised to support the president just a few months before the coup try to remove him from power? The recent military action in Gabon, which ended the Bongo family's 56-year rule, had been building up for a long time. Its roots can be traced back to 2018, when former President Ali Bongo Ondimba had a stroke. Bongo's sickness caused a big problem in politics. Some people in power didn't like the way Bongo's family was running things while he was sick. They split into 2 groups. One group wanted Bongo to step down, and they tried to weaken his family's control of the country. They helped a guy named Albert Ando Osa become a popular choice for president in the 2023 elections. The other group was from the ruling party, called Démocratique Gabonaise. They tried to make it look like everything was normal by having meetings and approving laws, even though Bongo wasn't able to lead. A big group of important people in the Bongo family are trying to become more powerful and get more money because they're not sure about Ali Bongo's health. During this time, Sylvia Bongo Ondimba, Ali Bongo's wife, became more influential and was getting her son, Noureddin, ready to take over from his father. All these tensions led to a big takeover on August 30th in Gabon. A person who studies politics, François Conradi, said that what happened might be because the important people in Gabon and the Bongo family had arguments. He said the takeover was the big important people in Gabon protecting themselves by getting rid of the smaller important people. Ali Bongo, his son Noureddin, and his wife Sylvia. Before the takeover, people didn't think Ali Bongo Ondimba would lose his third time running for president. His party controlled the laws, areas, and local governments, as well as the courts and the police. During the election, people voted online, but the internet was shut down. The opposition said that local election monitors were arrested unfairly. Bongo's party also made some changes to the rules at the last minute, which helped them. When the results came out, the electoral board said Bongo got 64% of the votes and his main opponent got 30%. People in Gabon were mad about this and wanted a recount. They were going to protest a lot and the whole world would notice. The Bongo family didn't want this, so they planned a coup. A coup means they would take over the government. They wanted to get rid of Ali Bongo, who was already sick, and his family. Also, the coup made sure that the Bongo family continued to have control. General Bryson Nguema, who is Bongo's cousin, became the temporary president right away. He is from the Bongo family too. Some experts think the coup was done to stop people from protesting in support of USA. This matches what the opposition leader Albert Ondo Osa said. He told the news that the coup was planned by the Bongo family to keep their power. Ali Bongo's illness caused the military to get involved. Another reason for the military intervention in Gabon is that there have been successful coups in nearby African countries. These coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger showed Gabon's military that doing a successful coup was not just possible, but also okay. After the army took over Gabon, the people in the capital city, Libreville, came out and celebrated. The new leaders arrested many of the former president's friends, including his 31-year-old son, Nouradin Bongo Valentin. He is accused of doing very bad things. On TV, they showed him and other people from the old president's team with suitcases that they said they took from their homes. Some people think the new leader is different from the old president's family, but a person from BBC said it's just a show. He thinks the new leader is doing the same things, just in a different way. At first, we didn't pay attention to this, but now that the new leader wants to be president, maybe there's some truth to what the person from BBC said. Remember when we talked about the coup in Burkina Faso? Well, the people there supported the coup, and they still support the government. But in Gabon, it's different. The people only supported Nguema at first. Now they're worried about him running for president. Even so, he changed the rules so he could run. He also left his military job. What does all this mean? It means he's been planning this for a while and wants to win. We think he'll probably win because he has the support of the Bongo elite family. That's why the coup happened. With Nguema in charge, the Bongo elites will stay in power for at least 14 years, maybe even longer. We are going to see a new family take charge in Bongo. Sometimes it's okay if a military leader wants to run for election. This has happened a lot in different African countries. In Burkina Faso, they agreed to change the rules so President Traoré can run for election after his time in charge ends. It's good if a leader like Traoré, who really cares about his country, rules for a long time. But if a leader is not good and only cares about themselves, ruling for a long time is bad, because they could cause a lot of trouble for the country. Countries like Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon have leaders who have been in charge for a very long time. This can sometimes cause problems for the country. We are worried about Brice Nguema becoming the leader of Gabon. We don't think he has shown that he will take care of his people like Traoré has. We're concerned that Gabon could end up like the countries ruled by the Bongo family. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.